The big breaking story tonight, the Margdarshak Mandal bombshell coming on the eve. The four veterans of the BJP hitting out at the manner in which Amit Shah and Narendra Modi are running the party. Joining me for perspective on this breaking story, two of India's foremost political journalists, Rajdeep Sardesai and Javed Ansari. I want to start with you, Rajdeep. We've gone through the Margdarshak bombshell. What ramifications will this have?
To be very honest, what it does do in some way is it's a canker in the system. But I don't think it means that Narendra Modi is going anywhere. It means that Amit Shah is going anywhere, or Arun Jaitley is going anywhere. The fact is that the people who have raised these issues are people who've been raising similar issues in the past as well. LK Advani, Yashwant Sinha, Murli Manor Joshi more silent, but the sense one gets, Arun Shauri, the sense one gets is that these are forces who are seen to belong very squarely to the anti-Modi camp. They're using the Bihar debacle to embarrass, in a sense, the BJP leadership to whatever else they can. But beyond that embarrassment, I don't see them actually being able to either alter the narrative or really significantly undermine Amit Shah's leadership at this stage. I think that the Troika, which runs the BJP, still has a lot of goodwill which they can cash on, because they are at the end of the day in charge of the party, and they have the goodwill not just of the party but to some extent of the RSS as well.
There hasn't been much clamour. There have been a few MPs who've spoken out. Will this be the first in several other BJP leaders also coming forward and voicing their differences with the way in which the BJP is being run, Javed?
Possibly. This certainly reflects the certain amount of churning that is going on within the Bharatiya Janata Party. Mr. Advani, Mr. Murli Manor Joshi, Yashwant Sinha may not be the giants that they were once upon a time, but they can't be wished away. If ordinary MPs have begun to start speaking up, and now that Mr. Advani has also lent his shoulder to the wheel, this certainly cannot be wished away. In fact, what I believe is that this might just provide give people the confidence, people who've been sitting in the behind, who've not been talking, who have been afraid of talking, they will all also now lend their voice to what Mr. Advani said. And now is the big question: what is the Bharatiya Janata Party leadership going to do? There was talk of action against Mr. Shatrughan Sinha and Mr. R.P. Singh post Diwali. Now what are they going to do? Will they take action against the bigwigs who've raised some very fundamental questions?
Will they just ignore it and pretend it didn't happen and bash on regardless? Is that possible, Rajdeep?
The Prime Minister leaves in a few hours for London, so he's going to ignore it. He's carrying on with his agenda. I think Amit Shah becomes a little bit more vulnerable because he is the party president. And if you see the nature of the statement, I think at some level it is directed at him. I think he is a softer target at this moment than Narendra Modi. And I think the fact is that either Amit Shah will have to course correct in terms of his style. You see,
is that even possible given his personality?
He's going to have to do it. At the end of the day, Amit Shah, somewhere strangely enough for someone like him, who's a dedicated party worker, appears to have tried to become larger than life in this Bihar election. And as a result of that, he is much more prone, I believe, to being targeted by the likes of Arun Shauri, Advani ji. Look, if LK Advani goes public, so far they've only put this statement out. What if they, on a sustained basis, decide to snipe at an Amit Shah or even a Narendra Modi, but very much at Amit Shah? Amit Shah is vulnerable. He doesn't have the kind of political heft that a Narendra Modi has. And therefore, to my belief, Amit Shah must watch his backside in the next few months.
Do you think Amit Shah's re-election, which is due in January,
and so should Arun Jaitley,
comes under question as a consequence of all these attacks and two big defeats, the first in Delhi and now in Bihar?
Well, possibly, Rahul. I know for sure that the last has certainly not been heard from the triumvirate. They may keep quiet because tomorrow is Diwali. They'll let the firecrackers make all the noise. But day after tomorrow will be another day, and you might hear something from them.
And what happens to the likes of Rajnath Singh, Rahul, the other leaders who have been sidelined? You see, they are waiting for someone else to sort of, in a sense, echo their concerns. I think what is happening at the moment is that this group is determined to take on Narendra Modi and Amit Shah and Arun Jaitley. It's the rest who have stayed silent, who may now, as time goes on, slowly get a little bit more, get some kind of a voice which has been missing. There isn't another election for another 6 months. So to that extent, I think the triumvirate has a lot of time and space. I don't believe that any of them is going anywhere. but I do believe it is an embarrassment. It emboldens the opposition. The opposition will say, we've been saying this, now your own people are saying it, your own Bhishma Pitama, your own mentor is saying it. It is an embarrassment for the Prime Minister.
It is undoubtedly an embarrassment for both Amit Shah and for Narendra Modi. I'm going to leave it over there. Javed Ansari and Rajdeep, thank you very much. Not going to be a very happy and pleasant Diwali.
Happy Diwali to you.
Happy Diwali to you though. Happy Diwali
to you.
Thank you. A short while before now, I spoke to Babul Supriya, Minister in the Union Government, to understand what BJP leaders make of this Margdarshak bombshell. I want to go across now to Union Minister Babul Supriya. He's joining us on this pre-Diwali Margdarshak bombshell. Mr. Supriya, welcome. This is when everybody in the BJP would have liked to be with their families, enjoyed Choti Diwali, and instead there are political patakas going off. What do you make of the Margdarshak bombshell?
Well, I think this is the time that we all need to sit down, watch TV, watch different channels, and see everyone who's speaking and hear them out. And sometimes, while you do that soul searching, lot of the things happen in hindsight. I think that sometimes dressing room talk probably it is better if it doesn't go out in the open. That's all I have to say. And I feel that in times of crisis, probably you want, a little bit of solace from people that you have really looked up to.
In this letter, the four of them say that the results of Bihar show that no lesson has been learned from the fiasco in Delhi. As somebody who is still active in the BJP, do you think that is true, that the party learned no lessons from Delhi?
Well, I am, trust me, Rahul, I'm not even entitled to comment on that. Because they are icons, and what I only want to say is that as Arun Jaitley ji has correctly said, that before the elections, sometimes a little bit of wrong sayings from here and there, they pick up the headlines and they spoil the narrative a little bit. So the party is obviously in a soul-searching mood. The party definitely has done a lot of discussions after the Delhi losses. So, without commenting on any particular comment, whether it is something that came in earlier or something that the veterans have said today, all I think need to say is that this is a time that probably we need to sit down and show a united face, because the party changes, leadership changes, a lot of things changes, because that is the only constant. So sometimes,
are you disappointed with the statement that has been put out by these four party veterans, Babu?
Well, as a BJP minister, I would not say anything. But as a fan of BJP, as a supporter of Modi ji, I am definitely, as a player in a team, I would definitely be sad if any kind of dressing room talk goes out, which gives a little bit of ammunition to anyone who wants any detractor. I would definitely say that. As a human being, as a person, I will definitely say that anything that goes out which puts BJP in any kind of, which add any kind of injury to the insult, then that will hurt you as a BJP, as a loyal.
Okay, Mr. Supriya, finally, what according to you are the key lessons to be learned from Bihar? Because there are four big elections, the BJP is not strong, not in government in any of those states, it's fighting in all those states. What do you believe are the key lessons? Where do you think you went wrong? What do you believe needs to be done?
Well, Rahul, everything is on, as I said, everything is definitely on hindsight. While as the Prime Minister has congratulated Nitish Kumar ji, and as the party has conceded defeat, let me tell you that, if you're talking about the armed people on the street, talking about the wrongs that BJP may have done, well, certain calculations may not have fallen into place for BJP to have lost Bihar, but with BJP's, with Lalu Prasad ji's RJD, winning the largest number of seats, I think anyone on the street, the same people will also probably agree that will not take Bihar 10 steps ahead. It will probably take it 10 steps backward.
Okay.
So that is one thing. The other lessons, yes, it's a continuous process. I'm sure things are going to be discussed. I'm going to learn from our mistakes.
Okay, you're saying you're disappointed with the fact that this statement has come out. As a team player, you believe that such dressing room talk should stay within the dressing room and not be put out in the public domain. Babul Supriya, thank you very much for joining me. I wish you a very happy Diwali. Thank you.
Thank you, same to you. Thank you.
I want to go across now to Atir Khan. He's joining us from LK Advani's residence. Atir, take our viewers through the inside story. What led to this pre-Diwali bombshell coming from the senior BJP leaders?
Well, senior BJP leaders, Rahul, were contemplating this move for a while, it appears. And it's not, spur of the moment decision, and a lot of thought has got into it. We are learning that Murli Manohar Joshi also held a meeting with the leaders today, and it was thereafter that he met LK Advani, and then all the leaders got together who are giving the campaign voice. So, decision has been taken.
They were waiting for the Bihar to explode after the defeat. Now what they're saying is that there should be no collective responsibility since they were not part of the Bihar elections. So why should they be responsible? Therefore, the responsibility should be fixed within the party for this defeat. They are also saying that there is no consensus within the party, and only a few people are being given priority who count out.
Okay, I want to go across now to Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, National Spokesperson for the Congress Party. He's joining us on this broadcast. Dr. Singhvi, the Congress, of course, will be very happy with the way the Parivar is fighting once again. What do you make of this?
So there's no question of the Congress being happy. This is something which the whole country was expecting for a long, long time. The real question which Mr. Modi and the NDA and the BJP will have to answer from tomorrow is, are they going to take any Margdarshan from the Margdarshak Mandal, or are they going to treat them as thorns in the flesh? I think a combination, a very, very unprecedented cocktail of arrogance, concentration of power in a few hands, and a feeling of infallibility, a superiority air which means that I can do nothing wrong, has been part of this country's governance as much it has been part of the intra-BJP governance. So
BJP can argue, though, at least those who are on the inside in the BJP can say that these four party veterans, they're very senior, but they don't matter very much because we're the ones who led the party to power in 2014 and subsequent assembly elections. And when they had a chance in 2004 and 2009, the party lost miserably. So electorally, they don't count for very much.
Well, I mean, in the ultimate analysis, these are internal matters for them to sort out. I'm not quite concerned whether they are senior or junior, although nobody can consider these names, who are in a sense the founding fathers of the party, to be inconsequential. The real issue is the characteristics they are underlining. The word emasculated means strangulated. The word since last year means since May. Now, these are the characteristics which the whole country has been complaining about for the last year. It's only now being repeated by these BJP stalwarts. What are those characteristics? A complete inability to get on with dialogue and participative democracy. A very divisive, aggressive, unilateral atmosphere. It's these characteristics and traits which the Congress has repeated and a whole host of regional and other opposition parties have repeated for the last 18 months, which are now being echoed from within the Parivar.
No, so tell me, this Margdarshak bombshell, Dr. Singhvi, comes on a day when the BJP government has just announced a major reforms push. Will we see the Congress be supportive of this government in its legislative agenda in the winter session of Parliament, or will you continue being a belligerent opposition?
Look, we believe, played the role of a responsible opposition, not a belligerent one. We will continue to play the role of a responsible opposition. You cannot make empty, hollow phrases and acronyms from Make in India, Skill India, Build in India, and make them hollow because on the ground you practice the same divisive politics. I think when the reality changes for the BJP and the Prime Minister, certainly we'll put our best foot forward. But if this is just show, camouflage, and just words and acronyms, well, there I'm afraid nothing has changed.
Okay.
And today you may be discounting us, you may be abusing us. But ultimately, this is coming from your own people now. It is not just these four. There are Shatrughan Sinhas, R.K. Singhs, Bhola Singhs, most of other people across the country. There are your own allies. Some of this discomfort was voiced by the Akalis, by the Shiva Sena. Now, therefore, if you don't listen to the Congress because you are always mutually antagonistic, at least listen to somebody else. Else is disastrous for the country, and no amount of preaching homilies or giving diversionary economic policies will make a difference. Because on the ground, nothing changes.
Well, the veterans have indeed given the opposition a stick to beat the BJP government with. Dr. Singhvi, I'm going to leave it over there. Wish you a very happy Diwali. Thank you for joining us. Let's shift our attention to the big FDI reform push decision. The government says that this is the single biggest reform agenda push since the 1991 Big Bang reforms. The government has eased foreign direct investment inflow norms in as many as 15 sectors. The big reforms push has now eased rules for foreign direct investment, making it easier for foreign companies to bring their money in and to take it out. The sectors which will benefit from the FDI norm relaxation are agriculture, plantation, construction, single brand and wholesale retail, private banks, aviation, broadcasting and media. Defence and construction sectors too will benefit from the relaxed FDI norms. The move comes ahead of the Prime Minister's UK visit, where the PM is set to woo investors to pour money into India and create jobs. The policy changes send a clear message that the government means business despite losing the Bihar Assembly elections. The Prime Minister's office tweeted saying that the FDI move shows minimum government and maximum governance is indeed the government's credo. It also said that the commitment to development was unwavering.
Today, a very important decision has been taken. The decision has been administratively pioneered by the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. They were in active consultation with the Ministry of Finance and the Prime Minister's office, as also other ministries which were concerned with each one of the sectors. And this decision impacts on reforming and liberalizing norms in 15 different states.
I want to go across now to the man responsible for crafting India's industrial policy, Amitabh Kant, one of the Prime Minister's key bureaucrats who's been working on trying to improve the ease of doing business in India, is joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Kant, welcome. Some analysts have called this possibly the single biggest reform measure since the 1991 Big Bang reforms. They come hours after the debacle in Bihar. Why was this government waiting for the counting to get over in Bihar, to get a shock from the voters for this major announcement to happen? You could have done it a lot earlier, sir.
Yeah, but you know, when you do major reforms across sectors, you need to do a lot of detailing, you need to do a lot of consultation, you need to do a lot of interministerial discussions. All this has been put in place across 15 sectors, across 32 different decision points. It's not as easy as you make it sound to be. And, you know, it's got nothing to do with elections. We drive economics, we don't drive politics.
Sure, but the timing is clearly something which is being looked at with curiosity. Is this an attempt by the government to try and wrest the initiative which was earlier on, whether the aura of invincibility around the Prime Minister has gone? Questions were being raised about him not being able to push the economic accelerator. Is this really an attempt to try and wrest the initiative before he lands in London, to send a message to the global community that this is a government that means business?
Well, you know, the Prime Minister has all along told us and directed us to make India one of the easiest, the simplest, and one of the most open economies of the world. We've been working on it. We've jumped a number of positions in the World Bank study. We jumped a number of positions in the World Economic Forum study. We've been declared as the #1 investment destination by Financial Times, by Ernst & Young, by Frost & Sullivan, by the Foreign Policy magazine of USA. Across the board, our FDI has grown by 40% at a point of time when FDI across the world has fallen by 16%. So it's been a continuous process all along in the last 15 months. The PM said, try and see what more you can open. He challenged us. We've tried to work with different ministries as a team, and we've tried to do whatever maximum is possible.
Have you done your numbers on how much extra FDI will come into India over whatever period you choose as a consequence of these 15 sectors where you've eased FDI norms?
Well, Rahul, you know, India is right now the #1 investment destination across the world. Now, the challenge for us is really to maintain the momentum, maintain the pace, quicken the speed. More than that, just make it extremely easy and simple. And if you look at today's policy framework, what we've tried to do is that just make everything automatic. Don't allow people, don't allow investors to come to the government. Just go through the automatic route. And wherever there were sectoral caps up to 26%, we tried to take them to 49%. Wherever there were 74%, we've tried to take them to 100%, and opened sectors which were closed in some ways. And therefore, we've just made India an extremely open, extremely easy destination for foreign investors now.
Now look at what former Finance Minister Chidambaram sent me on an SMS this evening. He's quoting a tweet of Narendra Modi from the 5th of December 2012, and this says the Congress is giving the nation to foreigners. Most parties oppose the FDI, but because of the sword of the CBI, some didn't vote and Congress won through the back door. He at that time accused you, he accused the Congress of selling out to foreigners. The Congress says now you're doing the same, you're doing what the Congress was trying to do earlier.
Well, you know, India requires huge growth. You know, you want to push and accelerate your growth from 7.5% to 9 to 10% per annum year after year for the next 3 decades or more, to be able to lift a vast segment of your population above the poverty line. And this requires investments. You don't have all that liquidity within India. You need foreign investment. No country in the world has isolated itself and tried to grow. You need foreign investments across construction. You need foreign investments to become a great manufacturing nation. You need to be a part of the global supply chain. And you know, you need to meet the aspirations of the young Indians to be able to grow at rapid pace. Without foreign direct investment, it's just not possible. No country in the world historically has ever been able to do it. So you need to drive domestic economy. You need to give a huge push to domestic investments, which is what we are trying to do, but simultaneously across infrastructure sector. That's a sector where you need over $1 trillion worth of investment. How do you make roads? How do you make ports? How do you make expressways? How do you make industrial corridors without FDI? You have to open up more and more.
Okay, look also at what the opposition is saying about retail, where the government has eased FDI policy conditionalities for single brand retail trading, besides permitting FDI to 100% in duty-free shops. Now they're saying this is FDI through the back door in the retail sector, which is what candidate Modi had been opposing.
Yeah, but single brand had earlier been opened. What we've tried to do is, we've tried to make things far more simple for single brand. For instance, if you were doing wholesale and retail, you needed a separate company for retail, you needed a separate company for wholesale. We've tried to just simplify this. We've said 30% sourcing should begin from the time you open your first store. So we've just brought in simplicity and easiness. You know, we've not made things complex, but single brand was earlier open. We just tried to accelerate the pace.
Nisaga mama mani pamaga ni pamaga sani pamani sapasa जहाँ तक याद आती रहेगी